Breweries PLC proposes new ordinary shares option for cash. The directors of the company have proposed that their shareholder, recommending to their for the approval of their shareholder at their next AGM, a scheme that will give interested shareholders the option to elect to receive new ordinary shares in the company instead of the final dividend in cash. Well, I can also tell in the mid-90s, Guinness did the same thing, but it was at a time Guinness was struggling. They didn't have so much money and they declared dividends. So in their annual general meeting, they now began to prevail on their shareholders to collect share options as against cash payout. So now, how are you viewing this? Doing this, does it significantly tell us that Nigerian breweries might be broke and wanting to retain more cash, or what?
No, I don't think it goes that way. There is this information at the marketplace. CAC, their regulation 2021, has instructed all companies to fully use all their unallotted shares. First of all, it was before the 30th of June, but it has been extended to December 2022. I believe that is why you are seeing more bonuses on the floor.
If that is the case, why didn't Nigerian breweries just come and declare bonus outrightly?
If
it is unallotted shares,
what they are doing, the question is that they have the option to destroy the unallotted, yes, or to give it as bonus, maybe outrightly. But I won't really say because they are pressed for cash. I believe that maybe they are just being meticulous about it, that even if they are going to give it, let it be at a cost. And another thing is that they are not prevailing on their investors to elect to get that. It's an option. It's an option. If you want, you get scripts, to the value of your dividend. If not, if everybody now decided that we don't want your bonus, they will pay. So I don't think that this.
Okay, what will your advice be? Assuming an investor is calling on you, Aruna, do I opt for cash or I convert my cash to stocks?
I would have gone for the script, the bonus.
Well, is it really bonus? Because if it is bonus, it will come at 50 kobo. But this is not going to be converted at 50 kobo. It will most likely be converted at about the market price.
What they said, they are going to use an average, moving average for 5 trading days to determine how much that is going to be converted using the value of your dividend.
Equity does not have that volatility like that, whereby the variance within those 5 days would be that wide. Therefore, it will be more or less the same thing.
Yeah, but the much I've known about Nigeria breweries, there is a level to which it falls to, and before you know, it has gotten like 30-20% higher than that. It has been trading in the neighborhood of 58.50, but it closed 40.25, I think, on Friday.
Okay, so you will prefer
the script issued to the dividend.
Aruna has just said his mind, all right? So you cannot take him up for that. This he has said is without prejudice. I'm not a lawyer, but I know something like that in law. We now go to some of the results that were released to the market in the course of last week, and here we've got MPF Microfinance Bank, that is the MPFN, FCMB, Wema, Jais, Fidelity, and Sterling. There might not be the time for me to begin to look at all of them at the same time like that. But Aruna, if we look at this result, for example, you look at a stock like FCMB. As at Friday, FCMB on the NGX was selling at about 3 naira 30 kobo. I'll just ask you a few questions. 20 kobo dividend. Do you think that is okay for investors in the market?
That will be less than 10% dividend yield.
But if you come to look at some other indicators, for example, the PE ratio is 3.12, and then the earnings yield is actually 32.01%.
You know what I've discovered? There are people that are dividend prone. They want to get dividend.
So this dividend relative to the price is low.
It's low, but the performance is good.
It's good.
And one of the things that will happen is that most of these dividends have a terminal date. After all this dividend season has come and gone, the market will sit down and be looking at the performance of each stock. You can make losses and pay dividend. The market will rush you and collect it. But the moment it's marked down, then people begin to realize that this is their performance. So the market will come back to begin to look at this performance one by one after the
Wema. I have followed Wema consistently since year 2001, and I've had the opportunity of interviewing one-on-one almost all the managing directors of the bank since then. The only one I have not interviewed is Mr. Adebise, that is there now. Okay? But from what I know, not what I have read, this is about the best to have happened to Wema Bank since the days of Mr. Tunde Lemon as the managing director of the bank. Incidentally, he did not stay too long. He left for the central bank as deputy managing director. In the audited report released by Wema Bank this time around, after their share reconstruction, they are coming out with 24 kobo earning per share. 24 kobo dividend rather. This is a bank that for almost 10 years or more, there was not a single dividend paid out at all. I remember when I, as Abayomi Babalido, was wearing their face cap, wearing their t-shirt, marketing their public offer on a national television in 2004. I doubt if the dividend was more than 2 kobo. Now, the price at, let me look it up, 70 kobo. The company, the bank, coming with a dividend of 24 kobo. I'm not done there. The PE ratio is 3.93, and then the earnings yield is 25.43. This equity is good for your portfolio, Aruna.
You see, when
it's fit for your
you see what normally happens in the market. That is why you see sometimes you have to do the Earth mentality. That when you see people run before you begin to ask what is happening. When they opted for this share reconstruction, we didn't know what they have in their kitchen. We don't know what they have up their sleeves. The day the stock was listed back at 276 kobo, a number of people were billing at 249. Why? Because if this information we are looking at was not at the marketplace. But if you even look at it now, 24 kobo for a 200, if you said because of the reconstruction, right, will be like 8 kobo for a 90 kobo stock. I believe it's fantastic. And if you look at the performance, 25% earnings seed, like you have said, we have never seen women back and that. And I believe that because they know, they have seen where they were going. That was even why they came for this reconstruction. They know where they were going. They have seen, they were very close to where they are going. I think that was why they called for this reconstruction, so that they can consolidate on this going forward.
You know what? I've always come against share reconstruction. Maybe this will be the first share reconstruction that I will say yes.
Because after the share reconstruction, the earning was able to hold it at that level.
And the price, actually, as a matter of fact, looking at Wema Bank on the indicators now, it is actually on the upward trend. Is it by Bible, though very close to where the indicators are saying that people might likely
because of the the prejudice for share reconstruction, it might actually still drop in price. It might go back to that 249. But as at that time, once if you see it below that, I think it will be a good buy.
A good buy.
Because if you see it at 240 kobo for 24 kobo, that is full 10%.
All right. Now let me leave Jais alone. I'm going to Fidelity Bank Limited. This company is declaring a 35 kobo dividend. Looking at the earnings yield, 45.14%, and the PE ratio is 2.22. This must be about the best among the banks.
You know, when we were even on YouTube, as at that I was shouting of Fidelity because of their earnings yield. I don't think this stock actually have disappointed me. The only time they have disappointed was when they released that they paid 22 kobo dividend and later came back and said it's 11 kobo and the market have to react. 35 kobo for a stock of I think it closed 345 the last trading day. I think it's fantastic.
Yes, 343.
I think it's fantastic.
So now, are you recommending it that one could buy, one could sell? What are you saying about Fidelity?
Are you saying the NEC that for the 5%, which chances are that if you take position at this level, the only reason why you might not benefit it so much is when their quarter one did not match up with this performance, and I don't believe so.
But Aruna, do you think that this result from Fidelity is sustainable?
They have at every of their releases, earnings yield has always been as high as this 30%, 25%, and you know it take a rise of maybe about 10 naira to drop 1% in earnings yield. So I believe that it's sustainable.
Okay, let me now let's go to Sterling. Sterling is giving a dividend of 10 kobo, but the earnings, the PE ratio 3.22. Almost all the banks are actually doing well. One may be doing better than the other, but virtually all the results we are seeing here from these banks are not such that you should look away.
But do we begin to believe in the statistics that Nigeria Bureau of Statistics are releasing about GDP and inflation? Because I think that is exactly the reflection we are seeing here. You know, we used to say, because if the economy is not actually growing, they won't say that it's growing.
Let me put this straight question to you. We have here FCMB, Wema, Fidelity, Sterling. Your best. Your first
is Fidelity.
Number 2?
FCMB.
Number 3?
The Wema.
My own is Fidelity, Wema, FCMB, Sterling.
You know, I'm looking at the ability to weather the storm, not based on this performance. That when the chips are down, which goes down first?
Wema will weather the storm. You know why? Yeah. In one of my writings in the old time, in one of the magazines devoted to the coverage of the bank, Stock Watch magazine there, I actually described Wema Bank as a bank like cat with 9 lives. That is the truth. If Fidelity you are talking about should be hit with what has hit Wema Bank, has left Wema Bank the way the bank is, Fidelity will have been long dead. That's the gospel truth. There is none of these banks, either FCMB, Fidelity, Sterling, that can come near Wema Bank. Number 1, in age. Number 2, in crisis they have passed through, the storms they have weathered. And these are the things you put together to determine, all right, the capacity of an institution. Now you don't compare. I used to say this, and I've said it many times. When you are like age 40 and you are richer than a man who is age 80, you cannot go to the church to share testimony until you get to age 80 and you are still
as rich as that
or richer than him, because between age 40 and age 80 anything can happen. Okay, that's why I tell you this is the best that you can get as far as investment education is concerned. Let us look at 4 insurance equities here. They are named AXA Mansard, Chi, Consolidated, Hallmark, and Regency Alliance. Except for Regency Alliance, all of them gave dividend. AXA Mansard 25 kobo dividend, NEM Insurance 22 kobo dividend, Chi PLC 2 kobo dividend. Regency Alliance could equally have given dividend. But let me tell you, I get to hear a lot. It is not all that I say. I do say some. what that Regency Alliance has done in the last couple of years is that, seeing that there was a proposed recapitalization in the industry, what the board and the management decided to do has been to retain every earnings that they got. If what I'm getting to here is true, all the past dividend that they have not given as cash dividend might be recapitalized, except if they change their mind. Of these 4 equities, which one is your best pick, Aruna?
You see, well, name has actually been there. If I remember when even this 5 kobo they used to pay, so they have weathered a lot of storm. But we saw Mansard going through share reconstruction, and I never knew they would come out as strong as this with any yield of 90%, pay 25 kobo dividend. I think they tried.
Okay, so of these 3, what about NEM? Because if you look at NEM...
No, I've just talked about NEM. And one of the things that you see that make NEM result to even drop was that there was an increase in their reinsurance expenses by 24% and an increase in their underwriting expenses by 67%. They would have done better, far better than this.
Between NEM and G and Regency and Axamansa.
Number 1 is NEM, then the other one is Maxad.
Okay. We are just being objective here. Okay. Figures don't have emotion. Okay. So if we have, I will try. See, we continue. Most of the managers of quoted companies are actually media shy. Yes, I've tried speaking with quite a number of them, but they are just media shy. Okay, but those that we can drag here, we will drag them here so that they will speak with you. But NEP is not doing badly. As a matter of fact, Regency 2 is not doing badly. I know that it might be easier for me to get someone, either an executive director of Regency, to get here. We want to hear from them. I don't know how soon, but we will continue to try. As far as we are concerned, we are done with that. Let us now look at a few, because our time is fast spent, and of these manufacturing entities. That is what we just decided to do. So we grouped them together: CAP, Julius Berger, Total, Bua Cement, M&B, Fitson, and UACN. Okay, you see CAP, giving a dividend of £1.25 kobo, and then UACN, the parent of CAP, giving 65 kobo. Is the child doing better than
the CAP is giving? I think they also give bonus.
Bonus.
Yes. The only thing is that the child can have more energy to do more work than the parent. I think that's what we are seeing here.
And let me look at the performance of CAP. Which one of them will you prefer? Because again, I really do not like the chart that I'm seeing about CAP here. Is not actually encouraging. It is a stock that will just come, stay low, rested, and then jumped up, and then become flat, and then lose almost everything, rest again, begin to jump up. It got to the maximum level now. It has now started declining at a price of 18 naira. Despite this dividend that has been declared, it still lost 9.1% on Friday. What are we saying?
Could be profit taking. Like if you ask me what will I go for, I think for benefit's sake, I'll go for CAP.
No, for benefit's sake, you are a trader. Looking at these indicators, it's better for you. You go for UACN, because you could actually see the volatility here. You could see it moving. So the charts, the indicators of UACN are showing me the charts for a regular normal equity. The one for the one for CAP is not actually encouraging.
You know,
I will not touch that kind of equity.
Sometimes there's every possibility that 100,000 units may be scarce. That is why you see it can be flat for a very long time.
Shegun has said, time up. But I still want to put one question to you. Between Fitson and me and Baker, right? 30 kobo dividend for me and Baker, Fitson 50 kobo.
If you look at the turnover, you should just know that to give it to Fitson. And with the kind of dividend they are still paying, I think it's Fitson. And even in continuity, I think it's Fitson. Fitson is having like 21% NAC, and MRB is having 13.8% NAC.
But MRB is having the COVID vaccine. For now, Fitson is not.
Have they started?
when we bring the managing director of me and Baker here, you will ask me that question. I want to say a very big thank you to you, Aruna, for your time.
Thank you for this.
Please call Aruna, let him further guide you. This is the time you really need guide as far as equity investment is concerned. And Aruna, I can tell you, is always available. I want to say a very big thank you to the management of Lagos Television for making this platform available. I want to say a very big thank you to the staff for their cooperation with us every time. I want to say a very big thank you to my team. You are the best. And also, let me remind you, I think it is 23rd of this month, or is it 29th? If I'm not mistaken, I will refresh it next time that we meet. Our association's meeting. You need to be a part of us, but we will get you intimated. Thank you so much to you for staying tuned. We've got to go, but we'll be here again the same time, the same station, next week. Until then, I remain yours sincerely in wealth creation, its accumulation and preservation. Abayomi Obabolujo. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the month.
Some dreams are big. Some dreams are small. Some dream to go from place to place. Dreams of love and ever after. Dreams and sacrifices that builds the future. Whatever the dream or step or journey, you can do more with a partner that cares about your dreams. Access, more than banking.